Imagine inheriting your mom's cozy Arizona home, only to find a self-appointed neighborhood dictator blocking your driveway, spewing rules like she's the queen of suburbia. Now picture her escalating to calling the cops on your autistic son, only for her web of lies to unravel right there on your front porch, leaving her exposed as the fraud she always was. Joseph Harlan pulled his dusty pickup into the driveway of his late mother's house in Sunnyvale Estates, Arizona, after a grueling 14-hour drive from Fort Benning. The sun baked the manicured lawns, where every mailbox gleamed in uniform beige, and not a single weed dared poke through the cracks, thanks to the iron-fisted HOA that ruled this slice of paradise. He killed the engine, glancing back at his son, Alex, 23, slumped in the seat with noise-canceling headphones blasting a podcast on quantum mechanics. Alex's world was numbers and stars, routines kept him steady. Chaos threw him off. Joseph, a retired Army colonel with 30 years under his belt, knew better than to wake him abruptly. But before he could even unbuckle, a woman materialized like a bad omen. Arms crossed, lips pursed in that classic "I own this street" stance. "You can't park here," she snapped, her voice dripping with faux politeness, like she was doing him a favor by existing. She wore a crisp white blouse with Sunnyvale HOA stitched in pretentious gold, her hair scraped back so tight it looked painful. No badge, no papers, just pure entitlement radiating off her like heat from the asphalt. Joseph stepped out slowly, his boots crunching gravel. "I'm Joseph Harlan. This was my mother's place. She passed last month. I'm the heir." He kept it factual. No emotion, just like debriefing after a mission. Her eyes narrowed, scanning him like he was a stray dog. "I'm Karen Whitaker, HOA president, and I'm aware of the situation with poor Mrs. Harlan. But this property has racked up 19 violations. We have standards here. New residents need board approval before moving in." She said standards like it was a holy word, her chin lifting as if expecting applause. 19 violations? His mom had been the epitome of tidy, her garden was the envy of the block. Joseph felt a flicker of irritation, but he smothered it. Army life taught him, observe first, act later. "Mind showing me the list?" he asked mildly. Karen blinked, caught off guard for a split second, her microtel. "I'll email it. In the meantime, I'd suggest finding a hotel. We don't want any disruptions." She glanced at the truck, then at Alex still asleep inside, her nose wrinkling like she'd smelled something foul. Joseph didn't budge. "Appreciate the advice, ma'am, but this is my home now." He woke Alex gently, guiding him inside past her glaring eyes. The house smelled of lavender sachets, a ghost of his mom's presence. Alex beelined for his old room, spotting the star map on the wall. "Dad, it's still here. Grandma said it helped me dream big." Joseph nodded, throat tight, but his mind was already cataloging Karen's overreach, her lack of docs. He snapped a photo of a bogus fine taped to the fridge, dated after his mom's death, 4 faded curtains lowering curb appeal. Amateur hour. He emailed his lawyer buddy, Mike Lawson, just arrived. HOA president's already playing games. Attached pic. Arizona law on this? Outside, Karen was whispering to a neighbor, gesturing wildly at the house. Joseph watched from the window, sipping coffee. She thought she was the spider, little did she know he was the one spinning the web. The email pinged at midnight. Subject, Harlan property infractions, sloppy. Like they'd copy-pasted from some template. Joseph read it at dawn. Black coffee in hand. As Alex munched cereal. Reciting facts about black holes. The list was a joke: $200 for non-approved bird feeder attracting wildlife, $150 for grass blades over 3.5 inches, even $75 for suspicious vehicle in driveway, his own truck. Total, $2,800 due in 5 days. No cites to actual bylaws. Just demands. Joseph smirked inwardly. This was extortion dressed in bureaucracy. He called Mike. Joe. These HOAs in Arizona are Wild West sometimes. They need a 10-day cure period before fines stick. And you can demand their financials, 7 days to cough them up. Joseph filed the request that afternoon. Certified mail. Karen would ignore it, predictable as a bad habit. That evening. Old Mrs. Ellis from next door shuffled over. Glancing around like a spy in a bad movie. Your mom was a saint. Joseph. But watch out for Karen. She's got the whole neighborhood on a leash. Her voice dropped to a whisper. The Millers tried fighting her over a swing set, said it ruined aesthetics. She fined them daily. Then called child services. Claiming neglect. They moved after 6 months. Broken. Joseph nodded. Filing it away. Appreciate the heads up. Mrs. Ellis. She scurried back. Curtains twitching. Alex. Overhearing from the porch. Tilted his head. Dad. Why does she act like that? It's illogical. Like defying gravity without thrust. Joseph chuckled darkly. Power trip. Son. But physics always wins, eventually. He started documenting photos of the violations. His grass was pristine. Timestamps on emails. He repainted the mailbox an approved taupe, snapping before and afters. Karen drove by twice that day. Slowing to stare. Good, let her think he was complying. The perfect mark. By day 5. The community app, Karen's personal propaganda machine, lit up. Alert, unauthorized occupant at 47, Elm Drive. Claims veteran status but refuses verification. Accompanied by an adult male displaying erratic behaviors, no eye contact. Obsessive routines. Potential risk to community harmony. Avoid and report. 89 likes. 27 comments, thanks for keeping us safe. Karen. We don't need that here. Joseph screenshot it all. Heart pounding not from anger. But anticipation. Alex read it over his shoulder. Face blank but fingers drumming, a tell. Erratic? That's me. Right? Because I like patterns? Joseph sat him down. Alex. Remember what your therapist said? Your brain's wired for genius-level focus. Hers? Wired for nonsense. This is her fear talking. Alex nodded slowly. Like in sci-fi. Where villains project their flaws onto heroes. Joseph grinned. Exactly. We're the heroes here. But inside. Fury simmered. Karen wasn't just fining, she was smearing. Turning neighbors into spies. That afternoon. A mom yanked her kids inside as they walked by. Alex noted it clinically, her pulse probably jumped 20 beats per minute. Joseph seated. But channeled it, more evidence for defamation. Texts trickled in anonymously, Karen did this to us, faked fines. Ruined our rep, Joseph replied, send proof. Stay quiet. Files poured in, 9 families worth, bogus charges. Harassing posts. Even a voice memo of Karen hissing. Pay up or I'll make sure your boss hears about your instability. One gem, proof she'd siphoned $98,000 from reserves into consulting fees for her cousin's ghost company. Mike reviewed, this screams fraud. Joe. RICO potential, organized shakedown. Alex even helped. Spotting patterns in the fines, they're exponential. Dad. Like compound interest on lies. A kid from across the street. Jake. Wandered over one day. Mom said you're weird. But you're just geeking on stars. Cool book, wanna talk Mars rovers? They chatted for hours, Alex's first real friend here. Joseph watched. Resolve hardening. This wasn't just survival, it was reclaiming normalcy from a petty tyrant. Tensions boiled on day 13. Doorbell chimed like an alarm. Camera showed 2 cop cars and a sedan marked Arizona Protective Services. Joseph breathed steady. Opening the door to Deputy Ramirez. His grizzled partner Deputy Hale. And social worker MS. Vargas with her clipboard. Mr. Harlan. Report of a vulnerable adult in distress here. Allegations of confinement. Untreated issues. Potential harm. Vargas recited it like a script. Eyes flicking to the house. Joseph stayed cool. Specifics? She hedged, confidential source. Erratic mail. Held against will. He knew, Karen's fingerprints. Understood. But no warrant means no entry without consent, which I withhold. Hale bristled, don't make this hard. Buddy. Alex appeared then. In a Hubble telescope tee. Hair messy. Dad? Who's this? Vargas softened. Seeing a polite young man. Not the monster described. Are you Alex? We're checking if you're okay. Alex blinked. Okay? I'm modeling neutron star collisions. Did you know they produce gold? Like actual elements from supernovas. Ramirez stifled a laugh. The mismatch was hilarious, Karen's hysteria versus Alex's geeky charm. Then, screeching tires, Karen stormed up. Face red as a stop sign. Why isn't he in cuffs? He's unstable. And Harlan's violating my restraining order. She waved a paper, obviously fake. Font all wrong. Joseph turned to Ramirez. Deputy. Any order on file? Quick check, nada. Clean slate. Karen froze. Eyes bulging. Joseph leaned in. Voice low and mocking, so. Either you're gullible enough to believe a forgery. Or you whipped it up yourself to sick the law on us. Which is it? Madam President? Her mouth flapped like a fish. My attorney. Mistake. But the deputy's body cams caught it all, her lies crumbling in real time. She backed away. Trembling for real now. As Vargas murmured. This report seems fabricated. Joseph savored it, the queen dethroned. Exposed as a clown before her subjects. Neighbors peeked out. Whispering. Her empire? Poof. The fallout was swift and sweet. Deputies hauled Karen for questioning on false reporting and forgery, felonies stacking like her fake fines. Mike dropped the evidence bomb, 11 years of scams. $98,000 embezzled. Witness statements from terrorized families. The AG pounced, fraud. Extortion. RICO whispers. Karen lawyered up. But her plea? 2 years probation. Full payback. Lifetime HOA ban. She sold her house cheap. Slinking away to whispers of good riddance. Sunnyvale bloomed anew, fresh board election. Mrs. Ellis as pres with real audits. No more nonsense rules. Joseph declined a seat, I'm here for peace. Not power. Neighbors barbecued. Kids played free. Alex and Jake stargazed weekly. He even presented his thesis locally. That night, under Arizona stars, Alex asked, "Dad, was Karen always evil? Or did the throne corrupt her?" Joseph pondered. Started as control freak. Ended as monster. Power unchecked does that, turns order into oppression. Mrs. Ellis watched from her window, smiling. She'd found her voice, the neighborhood had too. So, was Joseph the villain for playing the long game? Or was Karen the real threat deserving every bit of her downfall? You tell me, who's the monster in suburbia?